If you're looking to make homeownership a reality and wanting to understand what is the difference between pre-approval and pre-qualification, then this video is for you. The goal here is to educate you about the differences because those words can be intermingled, but they mean two very different things. At the end, I'm going to share with you when you should use one and when you should use the other, along with a video that I think will be very helpful for you if you're looking to buy a home here soon. Hey, everybody, Ray Williams with the Mortgage Maestro. And along the way, if you find value in this, please subscribe and share with me questions that you have about pre-approval or pre-qualification as we move forward as well. Now, if you've been on this homeownership journey with me in this series, we've talked about things like mortgage readiness, your credit, your budget. And so this will just build off of that as we continue in that journey for you towards buying that house here soon. Each of the processes, pre-qualification and pre-approval, serve for valuable things for you when you're going ready to buy a house. Pre-qualification and pre-approval serve the homeownership journey. There are times when one matters more than the other. First, we're going to talk about pre-qualification. Then we'll talk about pre-approval. What is mortgage pre-qualification? Folks, pre-qualification is verbal. It's a great barometer for you to really understand how much you can afford and probably qualify for. What's important for you to know going into that conversation is your income, including how you're paid, hourly, salary, etc., your job history, how much you have saved for a down payment, how much you want to spend per month on the house, the type of property you want to buy, and your credit score. If you know those things with also your consumer debts, we can pre-qualify you. And yes, we can issue you a letter. Know this, that's not a pre-approval. And that is a very different monster. And we're going to talk about that now. So what is a mortgage pre-approval? Take everything I just talked about, funnel that into an application online or over the phone. Included with that are income documents such as current pay stub, maybe year-end pay stub last year, W-2s, maybe tax returns, depending on how you're paid, asset statement for maybe the most current month, and then the lender should pull your credit as well to get a gauge on where your scores are and the debts that may or may not be something you're aware of. Those are some simple things related to pre-approval. Now, what the lender is going to do with that is they will review them, analyze them, and likely even run what's called automated underwriting, is a computer system. And so those things can get you that pre-approval. If you're going to get in a car with your agent to shop for a home, you better believe this is what they want, because the verbal option, while you can get a letter at certain institutions that just says you're pre-qualified, there are agents out there that may not even accept your offer because of the institution, and they may have had troubles with them because they don't verify everything on that letter. And in a competitive housing market, you better believe a seller wants to know you can close on the house, as you probably want to know as well. So pre-approval, think of it as more of a formal way than the pre-qualification. It's also not stressful to send over financial documents when you're not under contract. If you work with a lender that waits to get all that until you're under contract, they've just added to your stress because you're also packing, navigating work with buying a house. Maybe if you have children, navigating their schedules in addition to all these financial requests. Now, don't get me wrong. When you go under contract to buy a home, there are things we will need, even if you've been pre-approved, but it will be much less involved if you've gotten pre-approved first. Now, I mentioned to you that I would talk about when you can get pre-approved or when you can just get pre-qualified. Listen, if you are salaried, been at your job for years, don't own other houses, your money's sitting in a savings account, and you have an 800 score and you don't carry debt, great thing to do is get pre-qualified. If you're going to be getting in car with an agent, though, you want to have the pre-approval done probably a week in advance of getting in the car with your agent. Times where you should get pre-approved. If your pay is variable, if you work in healthcare because you got 10 line items on your pay stubs, if you have changed jobs numerous times in the last few years, if you have rentals, if you're self-employed, if you have any side hustle that's going to be 1099, these are all reasons to just bypass pre-qualification and just get pre-approved. because a good lender will tell you they can't pre-approve you over the phone if you have a myriad of things going on in your financial profile. Also, if you're not completely sure about your credit and maybe your credit's sitting in the 660 range, the lender can give you some hacks to fix your credit along the way as well. And that might be a time where pre approval makes more sense than pre qualification does as well. Comment below on questions you have about the differences of when you should get pre approved, when pre qualification work, and maybe I'll address those in a future video as well. Now, I'm going to share with you a couple stories about people and when they thought just getting pre qualified would work. One client in particular worked in the service industry and had been pre-approved previously, but changed jobs. Now, changing jobs with a job that has variable pay and tip income can disrupt your ability to close on a house. Going deeper on that pre-approval made complete sense in that situation. I've also fielded numerous calls from folks who are self-employed and they say, I make X per year. And the moment they tell me that they're self-employed is the moment that I stop them. Listen, if your income is on a tax return, I need your tax returns, and a pre-qualification will not do you justice. In fact, if a lender tells you they will pre-qualify you without your tax returns and you're self-employed, my advice, turn and run, because you do want to send those across for review by a qualified lender. The worst thing that can ever happen is that call at 4 p.m. on a Friday when somebody hasn't even talked to a lender, wants to shop for homes that weekend, and wants a letter. My advice would be start this process early, so that you have the pre-approval letter, you feel comfortable and confident with the lender you're working with, you understand the closing costs, you understand interest rate and loan program options available to you. And don't just trust in your friends when they say that my interest rate is going to be X, unless they have the exact same financial DNA as you, job history, same credit score, same down payment, buying the same house, odds are there's a different answer for you as there is for them. So I really hope that you found value in this. As I mentioned, I was going to share the video for you that I think if you're going to be buying a house, I would watch this. Make sure to comment below with any questions and subscribe, because we will continue on this journey as we dive deeper into this home buying series. Thank you so much.